Coming up, we'll see two QBs out of North Dakota State with Carson Wentz in town to take on the rookie, Trey Lance. Indy's won the last 4 against the 49ers, but can they make it 5 in a row? Find out on Sunday night.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Again, everyone, Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye. And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Here's Richie James on the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Niners offense making their way out, and they are led by the 3rd overall pick back in this year's draft out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance. And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Now this defense for the Colts, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston. It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? Toe tap. You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses. It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston. But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Lance. Forced, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie away. It's Nyheim Hines. And they'll get him down to 27. Colts offense ready to go here for the first time. And the former Philadelphia Eagle set to take over here at the controls in his first year in Indianapolis.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last. He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
On first down, Wentz. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there at 22.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Throwing on first is Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And bulldozing his way through. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. Here's Wentz to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Wentz going to throw. This to the outside for Mack. Touchdown! Marlon Mack with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
What a luxury to have a tight end
that can run a post route like that.
It's a luxury for the offense. It's an extreme luxury for the quarterback. Always has a great outlet and usually able to come up with a nice play down the middle of the field.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Running the counter with Mostert. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 2nd and goal, Lance to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for, but now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Here's Mostert. First down and a little extra from Mostert. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And, oh, boy, something you certainly don't want to see. Deebo Samuel still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Shoves him away. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Lance. And this is going to be incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And the Colts coming out now. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Zach Pascal, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. This goes to Mack on the check down. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Gold for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away. I say go for it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Javonte Williams, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Sam Darnold, strong as ever, as his guys finished off the first half at 7-1. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the NFC. Saints and Seahawks live from Lumen Field in Seattle. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Niners, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. got his target. That's Zach Pascal. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Fielded at the 33. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Shotgun now for Lance. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
Lance now on 1st down.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. Working from the gun, Lance.
Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. James has got it. Complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Trey Lance
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more.
They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now Wentz.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Throwing on first down is Lance. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Fred Warner, first-time All-Pro in 2020, in on the stop defensively. Here's Mack to get it again on second down.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
They find some open field here. And finally, they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 22.
65 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ballgame. So that run there, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
That's on the tackle, Braden Smith.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Wentz throwing on second down. This goes out right to Doyle. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Second down and goal. Wentz in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Javon Kinlaw able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Throws this one right side to Pascal. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Wentz, got to have this one. That ball is caught. It's Doyle. Touchdown Colts. Jack Doyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Here's Gallman. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The kick by Gold is good, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Smith to return it.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory Not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Wentz will try again on second down. He's got Doyle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Wentz to Doyle there. First down, Colts. He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up on...
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Wentz going to look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the ground, it's Gallman again. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Gallman will run it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So the victory here for San Francisco. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the 49ers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Colts,